Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Asia Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 2nd of February. Indian Foreign Minister meets top Nepalese leadership in Kathmandu to boost ties. Afghan president calls Pakistan center of the Taliban. And Maldives top court orders release of ex-president Mohamed Nasheed. And now for all the details. India's Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj on Friday met Nepalese President Bidya Devi Bhandari in capital Kathmandu city to boost ties with the Himalayan nation. During her two-day visit, Swaraj also called on other Nepali leadership including Premier Sher Bahadur Deuba and the likely to become Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli.
Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj on Friday met Nepalese President Bidya Devi Bhandari in Kathmandu and exchanged views on advancing the multi-dimensional relationship between India and Nepal. Swaraj, who arrived in Kathmandu on Thursday for a two-day visit, became the first senior minister from India to visit neighbouring Nepal after the conclusion of the two-phase parliamentary and provincial elections. She also called on Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba to discuss the bilateral cooperation and historical partnership between the two countries. She also met Pushpa Kamal Dahal, the chairman of CPN Maoist Centre, which is the ally of CPN-UML party in Nepal. Earlier on Thursday, Swaraj held talks with Nepal's CPN-UML party chief KP Sharma Oli, who is likely to become the next premier of Nepal. Swaraj congratulated Oli for the victory of the Left Alliance, comprising of CPN-UML and CPN-Maoist Centre in the recently concluded polls, and expressed willingness to work with the new government.
India's finance minister on Thursday said that the federal government's union budget for 2018-19 was a blend of fiscal prudence with the requirement and needs of the economy. The government in its annual budget has announced massive spending for rural areas and projected economic growth above 8%.
Indian Finance Minister Arun Jaitley on Thursday said the federal government's budget for 2018 to 2019 was a blend of fiscal prudence with the requirement and needs of the economy. He made the remarks during a press conference about delivering the government's last full annual budget before a general election to be held in 2019. The government has announced massive spending for rural areas and projected economic growth above 8%.
ये जो कुछ घोषणा ग्रामीण क्षेत्र के बारे में की गई एमएसपी के संबंध में और उसके अतिरिक्त अन्य स्कीम्स जो हैं वो इस फैक्ट को मद्देनजर रखते हुए की गई.
The federal government in its annual budget also announced plans for the world's largest government-funded healthcare program that would cover over 100 million poor families. The budget also targeted a fiscal deficit of 3.3% of GDP in 2018 to 2019, compared with expectations for a deficit of 3.2%.
Moving on, locals in GilgitBaltistan have alleged that bureaucratic government in the region is dominated by influencers from Pakistani mainland of Punjab, leaving zero to minimal participation to their own politicians in any policy-making decisions. They said it is Islamabad's agenda to keep the illegally occupied region backward by imposing draconian laws and policies.
Locals in Gilgit-Baltistan have long accused that Islamabad has over the years exploited the illegally occupied region through its draconian laws and policies. They claim Pakistan collects billions as revenue from Gilgit-Baltistan annually from trade and transit, exploits water resources and levies direct and indirect federal taxes. Yet, the significant majority of these earnings end up in coffers in Islamabad. Locals allege the regional government is never consulted while devising policies to cater to the real problems of the region.
अच्छा, फिर सोच से इतने सारे सेल्स टैक्स, इनकम टैक्स वो करते हैं, उसका कहते हैं जी कोई रेवेन्यू नहीं है। आपके हाथ में मोबाइल है, 27% इसका टैक्स कटता है, ये हमारे किसी खाते में नहीं है। सिगरेट पीने वाले 36 या 46% टैक्स देते हैं, वो हम लोग जो मेडिसिन लेते हैं उस पे भी टैक्सेस है। तो हमें एक फिस्कल पॉलिसी बनानी होगी ताकि हम जो ऑलरेडी दे रहे हैं इसका तो हमें हिसाब।
Residents in Gilgit-Baltistan say corrupt administration in the region has only compounded their troubles. Gilgit-Baltistan was originally a part of India's princely province of Jammu and Kashmir until its illegal occupation by Pakistan.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghan President Ashraf Ghani on Friday blamed Pakistan as the center of the Taliban and called on Islamabad to take decisive action for the elimination of terror outfits on its soil. His remarks came as Afghan Interior Ministry earlier claimed that the recent terror attack in Kabul had been planned in neighboring Pakistan.
Afghan President Ashraf Ghani on Friday blamed Pakistan for being the center of the Taliban and called on Islamabad to take decisive action for elimination of the militant group and other terror outfits on its territory. His remarks came as Afghanistan's Interior Ministry and top intelligence agency National Directorate of Security or NDS on Thursday claimed that some of the recent terror attacks in Kabul and other parts of the country had been planned in neighboring Pakistan. Addressing a joint press conference, Afghan Interior Minister and NDS chief said a number of people had been arrested in the past few days in connection with the attacks, and some of them revealed that attacks are being planned in Balochistan, a region under illegal Pakistani occupation. This comes after the two officials met senior Pakistani military and intelligence officials in Islamabad on Wednesday to discuss the issue of insurgency and the recent attacks. Militant group Taliban claimed responsibility for an ambulance bomb in Kabul city which killed more than 100 people last Saturday. It also claimed an attack over a week ago on a popular luxury hotel in the city which killed more than 20 people. The United States and Afghan government have long accused Pakistan for failing to combat militants operating on its territory. The United States last month suspended military aid to Islamabad, accusing it for harboring militants.
More on news from Afghanistan. 8 political parties in Afghanistan, including Jamaat-e-Islami and Hizb-e-Islami, have recently called for an amendment to the election law, arguing the past election failed to win the public's trust. The parties have now asked for a more substantial role for them in the upcoming parliamentary and district council polls.
Afghanistan's Jamaat-e-Islami, Hizb-e-Islami and 6 other political parties have called for an amendment to the election law, arguing that past elections failed to win the public's trust. The parties asked government to pave the way for a greater role of political parties and movements in the upcoming parliamentary and district council polls following an amendment to the election law. This comes after Hizb-e-Islami leader Gulbuddin Hekmatyar this week called for highlighting the role of political parties in parliamentary elections.
باید به احزاب و جریان‌های سیاسی نقش داده شود، امور رقمی که در آخرین پیشنهاد کمیسیون اصلاحات انتخاباتی در نظر گرفته شده.
تعدیل در قوانین، چه قوانین انتخابات باشه و چه قوانین اساسی و قوانین فرعی، زمین اساس خواهد شد که قوانین بهتر شود.
The parties and movements in Afghanistan consulted and discussed the matter for 2 weeks and then concluded that there should be an amendment to the election law. The parties have also asked that the details of the presence of parties and international electoral observers in the electoral process should be mentioned in the law.
News from Maldives. The Supreme Court of Maldives on Thursday ordered the release of exiled former President Mohamed Nasheed and former Vice President Ahmad Adib, along with other top politicians. The court ordered the immediate release of the high-profile prisoners and held that they are free until fair trials could be conducted without undue influence. The order could be a major blow to President Abdullah Yamin, who has a tight grip on power, controlling institutions like the judiciary, police, and the bureaucracy. 10 years ago, Maldives became a multi-party democracy after decades of autocratic rule. Nasheed, who was the first democratically elected leader, was ousted in the 2012 and later sentenced to 13 years in jail on terrorism charges. He had earlier expressed hope to return to his country and run for the 2018 presidential elections. Locals welcome fresh rainfall on Friday, which broke nearly a 7-week-long dry spell in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province. The rainfall is likely to boost crop yields of the province.
Rainfall triggered by fresh snowfall in Srinagar city of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province on Friday broke a nearly 7-week-long dry spell in the valley. Agricultural experts and local residents welcome the end of the dry spell as the rainfall will provide a much-needed boost to horticulture and agriculture. With the rainfall, the yields in the crops is expected to increase, which has suffered from an extended water crisis due to scant snowfall.
आज सुबह का रेनफॉल है, खुशाइंदा बात है कि कोई भी मॉइस्चर हमारी सॉइल पे जाएगा, सैचुरेशन लेवल नहीं है, फील्ड कैपेसिटी लेवल पर इस वक्त हमारी सॉइल्स नहीं है, सो इट विल नॉट हैव मच इम्पैक्ट जो हमारी सस्टेन हमारी सॉइल्स में रहेगी, क्योंकि ये रहनी चाहिए, रिजर्व्स होनी चाहिए. दैट इज़ बेसिकली व्हाट वी एग्जैक्टली रिक्वायर.
जी, इससे बहुत फ़र्क पड़ता है हॉर्टिकल्चर में या एग्रीकल्चर. अगर हम देखें तो अगर बारिश नहीं पड़ती तो शायद फसल तबाह हो जाती. इससे अच्छा हुआ कि बारिश पड़ी, इससे क्रॉप भी अच्छा हो सकता है.
The horticulture industry in the valley is the backbone of the province's economy, contributing billions of rupees from the export of the fruit to other parts of the country and abroad.
Different varieties of exotic flowers were showcased in a flower show in India's western Gujarat province recently. The show celebrated nature's abundance and saw active participation from both locals and tourists. The festival aimed to boost floriculture in the province.
A flower show aiming to promote flower art and floriculture kicked off on Thursday in India's western Rajkot city. The 4-day flower show is exhibiting various varieties of flowers and shrubs including bonsai, orchids and foliage plants. The beauty of Mother Nature and art can be seen in abundance at the Racecourse Park in the city, where different flower sculptures have been made with alluring intricacies. A number of visitors said they were awestruck by the large variety of flowers as they are a visual treat at the event.
वेल सबसे पहले तो यहाँ पर जब भी एंटर होते हैं तभी से ही एक ऐसी फीलिंग आने लगती है जैसे नहीं हम राजकोट में नहीं है, वी आर इनटू सम डिफरेंट, एक अलग सी अद्भुत सी अच्छी वाली जगह है कि ब्यूटीफुल स्मेल्स है. उससे भी आगे अगर बढ़े तो ब्यूटीफुल फ्लावर हैंगिंग्स है, लाइट्स जो अभी दिख रही है और रात होते ही आई एम श्योर एकदम सुंदर वाला लुक आने वाला है.
Nature lovers acquired knowledge about hybrid and miniature plants that are being showcased at the event.
फ्लावर शो जो है एक बहुत ही अच्छा आइडिया है मेरे ख्याल से. यहाँ आकर मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं इंडिया में नहीं किसी और कंट्री में हूँ, और मुझे लगता है इंडिया में इस सब चीज़ों की सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है, खासकर कि ये जो हम एनवायरनमेंट के नज़दीक जा सकते हैं.
Be it a flower hut or a tall flower statue, every sculpture exhibited in the show has its own uniqueness. Visitors were seen clicking pictures as they admired the art around them.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/AsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @AsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.